and I'm optimistic that we'll be able to finish the job in the next election.
Right, but your party may not be able to rely on post-COVID inflation crisis that was fueled by, war in the breadbasket of Europe and supply.
David, you know this. You know that inflation is caused when governments print money.
Well,
That's what the Liberals did. The Liberals flooded the economy with brand new cash. It has nothing to do.
They spent money. They didn't print money.
They spent money. They didn't print money. Well, first of all, where'd the money come that they spent? They created it through quantitative easing, aka making money. See, the way that works is the banks create money out of thin air. They press a button and they just create the money, and then they loan it to the government. That's called quantitative easing. The government then uses that money and they spend it on whatever they see fit. In the COVID crisis, that happened to be CERB payments and all these other stuff. So let's look at the numbers. It says right here, the government injected $377 billion in total liquidity into the financial system. So what does that mean? It means the bank created money, it loaned that money to the government now has that money, and then they spent it on stimulus checks. And let's see all the money that they spent and what they spent it on. It says over $212 billion in direct support to Canadian businesses, $85 billion in taxes and custom duty payment deferrals, $5.8 billion to support coordinated federal, provincial, and territorial action to strengthen critical health systems and other things, and approximately $14 billion to support provinces and territories in the safe reopening of the country's economics over the 6 to 8 months. That is a total of $316.8 billion.
Bank of Canada did not increase the number of banknotes in circulation in the economy. They used settlement balances. They used settlement balances to buy government bonds to put liquidity. I'm not being dishonest.
They created money out of thin air. They massively expanded the money supply. You know this.
They did not permanently increase the money supply, Mr. Scheer. But anyway, I don't want to have an argument on monetary policy. They used settlement balances to buy bonds, to lower interest rates, to put liquidity into the banking system. And then they remove those settlement balances over time.
Yeah, that's the problem here. You can't just remove the settlement balances. What he's talking about is called quantitative tightening. It's just a fancy term for paying money back that you loaned. After the government got the loan from the central bank, the only way to reverse that is if the government then pays the central bank back for the loans that it took out. That's how you do that. You can't just click a button and then the money just comes out of nowhere and you just pay it back. Like, everything that this guy is saying is a lie. How can you just go on TV and just lie as a news reporter? The CBC needs to be defunded. This is ridiculous. And then a bunch of people are going to try to use this talking point and go, oh, the government didn't actually print money during COVID. They can just click a button and it'll just return. No, you have to pay it back. It's a loan. It is debt. It works the same in your life that it does with the government. If the government takes out a loan, it needs to pay it back. It's very simple.